Verse 25, Ulladhu Naarpadhu Anubandam, supplement to 40 verses on reality by Sri Ramana Maharshi. அகில உபாதி அகன்ற அறிவது அகம் அச்சிவம் என்று அனிஷம் அகத்தே அகலா தியானம் அதனால் அகத்தின் அகில ஆசக்தி அகற்று. What is he saying here? அகில உபாதி அகன்ற அறிவது. See, when the mixed consciousness is made clear by the process of demixing, it all looks like red color sand is mixed with water. Water is pure awareness, red color sand is body awareness. I am the body sense. Through Vicharam, we make this demixing happen. Disidentification with the body happen. So he says, when all the upadhis are removed, upadhi is nothing but an add-on to pure consciousness. Of course, it cannot be added, it looks like it has been added. The 5 koshas, the 5 sheaths, the food sheath, body, and then prana, breath sheath, and then our mind, memory, etc., and then the intellect, and the bliss sheath, what is called causal state, which happens in deep sleep. When all these upadhis are removed, what remains is what is called Shiva state or pure consciousness, Suddha Chaitanyam, call it whatever, or Paramatma, Brahman, whatever. So the whole game is identification with the body to disidentification of the body. So he says, when you get that pure awareness minus the body awareness, hold on to it. He says, Agila Upadhi Ahandra Arivedu Aham Achivam Endru. When that happens, when pure consciousness dawns within you, he says, know that you are that. Aham Achivam Endru Anisham Ahatte Ahala Dhyanam Madanal Agila Asatti Ahatru. He says, hence when you go on going inside deeper and deeper, when you get that pure awareness, when you remain as pure awareness, you will not even get, because to get there must be 2. So when you remain that pure awareness, because he has already said, knowing the self is being the self. As you go deeper, you will experience that oneness minus body awareness. He says, hold on to it and then remove all the what is called abhasa, what is called reflected consciousness, knowledge of objects, knowledge of matter. The whole game is separating ourselves from the grip of matter. Matter is separate, spirit is separate. But of course later he would say it is the spirit, formless spirit, which appears as both spirit as well as material. He says it in Devi Galotra. So this is the game. So it has been said in several ways, but if you want to reduce it to one basic principle, it is Vicharam. Do self-enquiry. Whenever thoughts arise, do self-enquiry as to whom are these thoughts? To me. Who is that me? Who is that I? Because that I arises from the self. Within each individual, there is the self, Brahman, all the time. But the problem is that limitless Brahman enters the body through a pinhole, he says. When it enters through the pinhole, that hole gets blocked. By what? By our previous birth memories and this birth memories, our desires, etc., our identification with the body. So there is a dark material here. And when the pure light touches this place, the pure light loses its original nature and it starts powering this dark matter, which is identification of the body, and he says this courses through the entire nervous system. So whenever you are aware not of the original consciousness, but you are aware of the reduced, reflected consciousness, what is called abhasa, chidabhasa. There are so many names. So we should go on, sharply, questioning as to what is Bhagavan saying, why is he saying, what is his message? His message is seek the source of I thought. That's all. If you seek the source of I thought, it will topple down there of its own accord, Atma or Brahman will shine forth, he says. So, he says, having taken n number of births, he says, finally, when realization dawns, you will know that the entire physical, you are having lived on this physical plane, looks like a dream, he says. Because objective reality, he says, is not there. Objective universe is not there, he says. Then what is there? He says pure consciousness alone is there. Like the way a football is stretched endlessly, awareness, existence, consciousness, bliss is stretched endlessly. No limits, no bounds. And within that boundless football, the universe happens in our awareness. Going by, I have read all the verses that is written in Tamil, and I do everyday Parayanam, everyday recital. So, going by the various verses, what he clearly says is that the universe is contained within consciousness. But is it like a cinema screen, two-dimensional? No. He says, Ulla uru ellamai oru uruvum iladai thikkor siridumindriye, he says. And Atma doesn't have any confinement to any direction. It is multidimensional, all directional. There is not a place where it is not. And whatever is there in the universe is there because of its power. It is Atma which powers everything in the existence, including animate and inanimate matter and beings. And it makes them function the way they function, subject to natural laws. And it remains untouched, he says. Here it will sound mysterious. How can formless also become form? What we should understand is that we are not going to create this reality that the spirit also functions as matter. He is only describing the reality which is already prevalent. We should understand very clearly, we are not going to create this immense reality, but we are only cognizing it. He is giving a description of truth. This is what truth is. This is the fact. Why don't you understand it? Okay, now how do I remain that consciousness, pure consciousness? Only by the subsidence of thoughts, through inquiry. Like how a snake pops out of its hole, thoughts keep popping out of that pinhole, he says. And thought is spurious reality, he says. It is phantom state. He says, I thought, body, world, universe, everything, they do not exist. They are phantom state. Why? If you do vicharam, inquiry, and trace the source of I thought, what remains is only pure consciousness. He says, like how a camera is exposed to full sunlight, there is no image formed. The same way, when Atma shines forth, there is no experience of any matter at all, he says. It is all pure consciousness, oneness, all pervading, unmoving, unshaking. Asangoham, he says, unattached oneness. He says, when in Shankara's Dakshinamurti Stotram, he says, when realization dawns, you will see yourself as the only one thing existing. What about the multiplicity prevailing in the universe? No. It will all be erased. But again, when the ego rises, everything will come into our experience. Because Bhagavan would sit for 8 hours in abidance of the self, without even winking eyes. Then, if he wants to come back to this transactional reality, the I thought arises, and then he experiences the world. So the same way he says, in Jnanam, in realization, there are no individuals at all, because it's an undifferentiated state, he says. All are one. The moment ego pops up, Ramana Maharshi, Adi Shankara, and other rishis, this way it happens, that's all. So the effort is to make the I thought subside. Seek the source of I thought, it will topple down, Atma will shine forth. Sounds simple, of course, but not easy, because it takes time, effort, constant effort. In many places he says, without a break, he says, abide in the self, which means seek the source of I thought. Even abidance in the source sounds, contradictory, because there is only one. Who is going to abide in what? That question would arise. So seeking the source of I thought is our job. The rest will happen automatically, he says. So, Agila Upadi Agandra Arivadu. When all the body identification thoughts are removed through Vicharam, there prevails pure consciousness, he says. He says, hold on to it, and with the help of that, remove all thoughts pertaining to matter, material. That's all. So, our ultimate nature, your ultimate nature is pure consciousness. When we say consciousness, existence, consciousness, bliss. We'll be in a state of bliss without ever having to subscribe to physical matter or human bodies. That's what he says. Natural state, our natural state is bliss, he says. It is said that the ultimate pointer to our reality, Brahman, is bliss. Because the whole life game is making us get identified with this body and seek our original bliss through matter. Through sex, drugs, food, etc., drink, etc. This is the whole game. It's a treachery game. It's a cheating game, in fact. And who has cheated who? Finally, from Advaitic perspective, you have cheated yourself. That is what would say, because the opening premise and conclusion of Advaita Vedanta is one only exists. Then who is going to cheat whom? Then you should understand, you have cheated yourself, I have cheated myself. Because the common substratum among all of us, within all of us, beneath all of us, is that one consciousness. Let us think about it.